This video is about the top 5 regrets from elderly retirees. The other day, I talked to a group of seniors, and all of them were 70s, 80s, and some of them were even 90 years old. They were expressing to me about retirement. I asked them a bunch of questions, and I've been retired for 4 years now, and I'm pivoting this channel to talk more about retirement and finances. And we had a great time talking. I asked them, did they have any regrets about retiring? And I was able to get a lot of conversation from them. And each one of them loved the freedom that they enjoyed every day. And the number one regret that each one of them had was they wished they had retired earlier. They said that the time that they spent after they were eligible to retire, it wasn't worth it. Some of the retirees were able to retire 3 or 4 years after they were eligible, and they were trying to chase that money. Each one of them said that that time wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. They felt that they should have left sooner, as soon as they could, as soon as they were eligible. So the first regret was they wish they would have retired earlier. And the second regret that the elderly had is that they wish they would have spent more money earlier in their retirement. I really didn't think about it, but it kind of makes sense. You save and save and save until your retirement. And most of the time, when you start your retirement, you're still in pretty good shape. But the older you get, you may not have that opportunity to spend that money that you save. And I was intrigued by that. I guess the initial years of retirement is called the go-go years. It represents the fleeting window of peak health and energy and mobility needed to enjoy expensive experiences like travel and hobbies. Many retirees fall into that trap of underspending due to fear of running out of money, only to realize later that they sacrificed precious acts of years and financial security that they didn't ultimately need. Now, the go-go years are usually the first 10 to 15 years of retirement. This is when people are generally the healthiest and most active. And they got what they call the no-go years, is the term that you waited too long, means that the money extended for, lovely trips and adventures may only be usable for medical expenses now. Basically, your health has declined. And the third regret was they wish they had taken better care of their health. Most of them said that they wish they had prioritized their health in the earlier years. They believe it led to some chronic conditions that affected their mobility and their conditions. They mentioned that they should have ate better. They had poor diets and nutrition. Some of them smoked, and they thought they basically should have exercised more, maybe did some physical fitness or something. And the fourth regret was they wish they had taken up a hobby. And I did some research on this, and this is said to be crucial for longevity and happiness and retirement. This keeps your mental sharpness when you're engaging in hobbies, especially new and creative and challenging ones. And it improves cognitive functions and reduces the risk of dementia. A social connection is another one. It helps fight the loneliness and isolation that a lot of seniors get. They get faced with that, often finding new social networks. And it also helps the physical health, and it reduces stress. So taking up a hobby is huge in retirement ages. But if you retired now and you haven't taken up a hobby, it's never too late. Even at middle age, 60, 70 plus, it can still be a great benefit. And number 5, the fifth regret from the elderly is that they wish they had traveled more. Some of the elderly people regretted not visiting certain places like Rome, Dubai, France, Africa. They said they wish they had had the experiences of seeing those places even more than buying things like cars and boats and material things. They felt it was a missed opportunity because once their health started to decline, they wasn't physically able to travel comfortably. Their health declined, and a lot of them thought they could push it back further and further, and they just waited too long. So let's recap. The number one regret was they wish they had retired earlier. The number two regret was they wish they had spent more money in the early retirement. And the number three regret was they wish they had taken better care of their health when they were younger. And the fourth regret was they wish they took up a hobby. And the fifth regret was they should have traveled more. So when you really look at those five regrets that the retired seniors had, it's a pretty clear picture starts to emerge that most retirees don't look back on all the cool things that they did in their lives, but the things they wish they had done instead sooner rather than later. They often think back on all sorts of what ifs, like saving more, planning before it was too late, spending more quality time with family, taking better care of their health, just letting themselves enjoy every minute of their life while they still could. In all honesty, retirement has a way of bringing all that to the surface and making people think about the life choices that they made. The good news, though, is that if you're watching this video right now, you still have the chance to make some better decisions moving forward. Maybe you've already retired and you're thinking, yeah, that sounds like me. I've got things I want to do next, or maybe retirement is just looming on the horizon, or you trying to avoid all the pitfalls that everyone else has encountered. Either way, just being aware of the potential pitfalls has got to be, it's got to be worth something, right? It's got to be worth something. Awareness is a powerful thing. And by learning from the experiences, you can make smarter decisions and choices with your money, your time, and your health. Retirement isn't just about hitting some magic age or having enough squirreled away in a savings account. It's about creating a life where you feel secure, fulfilled, and can really enjoy the years you spent working so hard to get to. So now's the time to take a minute and think about your own plans for retirement. Are there any steps that you could start taking today that your future self would appreciate? And bear in mind, no matter where you are with your retirement plans, it's never too late to make some tweaks that will make a real difference in the long run. If you got something out of this video, then be sure to subscribe to Going Strong into Retirement, where we dive into all sorts of retirement planning, social security, and things that really affect life after 50. And last but not least, I love to hear you in the comments. Which one of these regrets stood out the most? Is there anything you think I should add to the list? My last video, I talked about 5 brutal early retirement truths no one will tell you. And if you didn't see that video, check it out next. If you're in your 60s or 70s or already retired, drop your age and one lesson you learned or regretted. See you on the next video.